So go ahead and make sure we're muted. I'm going to see, for my Dominate people, I'm gonna see if it'll let me stream into the Dominate group, but I'm banned, so it might not. I can comment on my regular, but it's not letting me comment in groups. So I'm going to see if it's going to let us stream into Dominate. If you are not in Dominate, you will get the replay sent out in a recording. So do not worry. You'll have lifetime access of this, and you can watch it whenever you want. Oopsie. There we go. Okay, we'll see if it works. How are we feeling in the chat? I would love for you to let us know if this is your first time in the Kiara portal, if you're an OG, if you've been around for a while. Woo! Cassie's on. There are lots of people in the waiting room, so we're just going to give it a second and then we're going to dive right in. I am so excited. This is it's a big workshop. So I like to plan, it's normally an hour and 15, an hour and a half. So we'll see. But otherwise, let us know where you're tuning in from, what you're excited for, and then we're gonna dive right in. So let's see if it let us stream. We love Facebook, always banning us and everything else. I'm looking. Okay, doesn't look like it's gonna let me, so I'll just send this into your Dominate portals, and then everybody else will get this in a recording, okay? We've got California, Wisconsin, a first timer. Welcome, Nashville. All right, I'm gonna share my screen and we're gonna dive right in. This is a workshop, which means it's not a lecture, which means I want you to interact. So use the comments. I'm going to be asking lots of questions, and you're going to walk away from here with content to go post to your audience so that you're giving an addicted audience and they love you and they're dripping with desire to buy from you. So get your typing fingers out, get ready, and if it's a lot of information at once, you'll always be able to go back and redo it when you need to. So I'm gonna have everybody make sure they press their mute buttons and we're going to dive in. I'm gonna mute some of us here that I can see. All right, here we go. Not my first time. I'm a Kiara addict. First time from Canada. We've got a couple of Canada babes on today. This is great. All right. Can somebody give me a thumbs up when you can see my screen? Thank you, Cassie. This is the Addicted Workshop. So we are creating a boudoir audience that's dripping with desire to buy from you. Yay, Katie can see. Okay. So, scale of 1 to 10, I would love to know, how do you guys feel about your audience right now? 10 is being absolutely amazing. They are the best. They buy as soon as you post. You love them. And 1 being, it's a ghost town. They're all dead. Nobody is here. Nobody is listening to me. So let me see in the comments. I just want a vibe of where we're at. Okay. 6 out of 10. We've got some 5s. Kiana's kind of 1. 6 right now, 6, 5, 7, 8. So we're all over. We've got some low, we've got some middle. And my intention for after this workshop is that you guys will be able to look back. I always say give everything 90 days, give something 30 days. Because if you start something for 2 weeks and you're like, oh, nothing's working. Well, no, duh, we haven't given it enough time. So commit right now to the next 90 days that you're going to be showing up with an addicted audience, that is what you are anchoring into. So I would love for you to write your intention in the comments for this workshop. So what happens is people buy education and they join little workshops and they join these Zooms or programs and they don't set an intention. And energy needs an intention. So if you are not committing to an outcome, there's nowhere for all of this knowledge to go. So what would you guys love after this workshop? Would it just be to have a deeper connection? Would it be to feel more comfortable posting in your audience? Would it be to have an engaged audience? Set your intention right now in the comments so that we can dive in. So what is your intention for the addicted audience? Why did you sign up for this? What gravitated? And what are you committing to from here on out? Okay, so we're going to start with that. And in the comments, drop your intentions. And you'll find that a lot of us are on the same wavelength here. A lot of people are experiencing the same things, which is great because then you know it's not just you. All right, let's see. I want my audience salivating over my work, having an engaged audience. I want people to snag any fun sales opportunities, but it's not a top priority. Ooh, we're actually covering this, Sarah, so I'm really glad you're in here. Creating the community. The selling is second nature. The money is going to be a byproduct after what you infuse into your audience after this. Let's see. I would like to let my audience get to know me more before they start feeling comfortable. Oh, this is the perfect place. Deeper connection. In 90 days, I'll have an audience that is engaged and ready to book, to light a fire under me, new energy and motivation. Can you guys feel it? Can you feel it like rising right now? I am so excited. So let's make sure everybody is grabbing this. An audience who, when they think of self connection, they think of my name. Okay, we are recording. I just had an ADHD moment of like, did I record this? We are. You're good. So we're going to go back to that now. All right, I'm loving these. The person to follow. I'd like to be seen as the authority in Chicago. This is incredible. So, what I want to dive into is, of course, this was called the Addicted Workshop, but we want a healthy addiction, okay? And what that means is you go first, okay? The first step of having an addicted workshop or an addicted audience is that you have to be obsessed with you. You lead the energy. So, show of hands, drop a comment. Who feels like they're waiting on their next booking to get excited? Who feels like, well, I'll go post once they reply? You feel like you're talking to an empty wall, or you feel like you're talking to a room full of old people sleeping? And it's like, what is the point of posting if nobody's going to respond to me, right? Have you ever experienced that? Yes, yes, I'm always waiting. Heather says me. Layla says I definitely get caught in that. I am obsessed with myself. Good, Cassie. That is the energy we are bringing. Our audience doesn't owe us responses. Layla, were you watching my slides when I made this last night? Because I'm talking about this today. So, what we have to recognize is our first step in having an addicted audience is to be obsessed with yourself and owning the right to brag on yourself. It doesn't mean you're conceited. It doesn't mean that you are pushy or that you're bragging. It quite literally means that you are doing your job. So the first thing you want to identify is we are no longer a company. We are no longer a business with boudoir, with something as intimate as photography or self-healing or coaching or whatever you're in. You are a personal brand. People are buying you and the service that you provide. So you come first and your service follows. So I want you to anchor into that is you are a personal brand, and all of the business classes, all of the marketing classes, you can have as much marketing strategy as you want. But if you are not showing that human side, if you are not showing that real side of you, and that's what we're digging into today, it's not going to translate to a booked out calendar. So, the first step in workshop right now, the first assignment, I want you to brag on yourself right now in the comments. What are your accomplishments that you're really proud of right now? What is something really cool about yourself? And this is where people start to get uncomfortable because like, I don't know. What is it? Unless you're a Leo, then you're just like, here I am. I am amazing. I'm amazing. I'm the best. Veronica says this is so hard. And it can be. But this is why we're practicing this because you are going to take these ideas and turn them into content today. So, Katie's my business has earned $1 million since 2019. That's absolutely freaking incredible. What else? Let's go deeper. I'm fully booked through May. I just had my first client fly in to work specifically for me. Oh my gosh. I was able to impact over 60 women last year. I'm great at helping women heal. Look at all of these. I want you guys to read through these comments and brag on yourself. Let them go. Keep going. How about what's something you're really good at with your clients? Can you break them down immediately so that they immediately feel comfortable as soon as they walk in? Are you really good at connecting to even strangers? I've grown in my artwork. I absolutely love the way I can show off my clients. I've been an OG boudoir photographer since 2007. There we go. These are all what I like to call clout codes. All right. I want you to remember this word clout codes. You get to create your own clout and you get to brag on yourself because guess what? Nobody's going to do it. right? Can you imagine had I felt wishy-washy marketing this addicted workshop and not talking about all of the amazing things my audience does? Nobody would be in here. We had 54 people sign up for this. But had I stayed quiet and not done it, they wouldn't book. So getting comfortable with bragging on yourself. So let's read through 'em. My clients always say that they immediately felt comfortable with me, and that's what leads them to book specifically. All right, so where are you guys right now? Are we bragging on ourselves in our content, or are you just talking about your clients? Are you bragging about yourself? Are you positioning yourself as the one they want to go to? Or are you focusing on the clients? Everybody says, nope, no, I just talk about my clients. I never talk about myself like that. I'm just focusing on the business stuff, showing off the artwork, thinking that will do the job. And here is the disconnect. If I don't know the person who's going to get me naked on camera, I'm probably going to hide a little bit. I want to know who that person is. Who is this human with the camera? Yes, you can create amazing artwork, but are you going to be like really bitchy in person? I don't know. I can only see your professional persona. Are you going to be really done up in hair and makeup and full glam and then I'm going to feel self-conscious about myself? Like, get to know your audience. Does this make sense? Why the first step in creating an addicted audience is being addicted with yourself first, okay? We want a healthy obsession. Okay, Veronica, I'm very quiet and reserved, but I feel like that's a strength. We talked about this yesterday. We did. So if you guys are the more quiet and reserved, show up and let your audience know that. Show them your cozy pillow and your blanket and be like, this is my Friday night. Does it have anything to do with boudoir? Absolutely not. But that means it has everything to do with selling your business because you are a personal brand. They want to get to know you. That means bragging on yourself. It means being able to show up and say, you know what? I did this amazing thing. My business has brought in over $1 million since 2019, which means I've gotten to impact that many lives and celebrate yourselves. So in 2021, I announced to my audience, my photography audience, that we were $1 million business, that we had cleared 7 figures. They were so excited because guess what? They have been following your journey. So people want to know what your clout codes are. They want to trust you. They want to fall in love with you. I want somebody who's obsessed with themselves and knows their shit because if not, I'm not going to trust you. Make sense? So the first step is just really just owning your bigness. Own your bigness and go out there. So now we are going to move into resentment because we cannot be addicted with our audience and we can't create an addicted audience if we are harboring internal resentment. Okay. Our job right now is we're going to clear the hidden energy of, oh, they should have booked already. Nobody's engaging. I'm posting all this shit and nobody's commenting back. Wow, my group is dead. 4 people left my group. Nobody likes me. And what we want to realize is our audience doesn't owe us anything, right? Who feels like maybe they've got a little bit of resentment? The replay will show the slides. So you'll be able to zoom through these and then you'll have the link to the slides as well. Who has maybe had some resentment towards their audience of what's the point of posting if nobody engages? Or you post a flash sale or a model call and it's like, oh, well, I only got 3 bookings. I wanted 30. All of you said you wanted mini sessions, but then I posted the mini sessions and none of you booked these elaborate themed minis. Guilty, guilty. I had to work through that for sure. This week I've been way better. It's shifted in my group a lot. Guilty before. Yep. I think a little, and it's more like everyone say, oh, I can't wait. And then it's crickets. And then it's this weird energy of like, all right, you guys, you tell me one thing and then you're not doing the other. Totally guilty. Me, but I'm working on it, working through it. But since this round of procs has helped a lot, this is something we talk about a lot in there. So what we have to recognize is they don't owe us anything. It is our job as a professional. It is our job as the personal brand to connect the dots and spice up our marketing with this could look like subconscious marketing, relatable marketing. We're going to get into that here in a minute and connect the dots for them. It's not their fault they didn't book. That's on us. So we get to bring the wave. We get to bring the hype. We get to bring the clout and go forward with, you know what? All right, maybe I have been resenting you a little bit. Maybe it's this weird unconscious energy. And of course, it's not conscious. It's never in the front of our minds like, wow, I hate my freaking group. I mean, maybe sometimes you've gotten way low and it is. But normally, it's some underlying energy of like, here I go. It's not going to do me any good. Or you see the same 3 comments every time. Who has, like, their top 3 who comment on everything, and then the rest are just like, "Why are you even here?" I have a group of 8,000 people, but it's the same 5 persons commenting every single day. Yep, yep, and what we can do, we get to shift that into gratitude, and we get to be like, "You know what? Ashley, Susan, Maria, thank you so much for commenting every day, like, amazing." Because you know that those lurkers are around. You know that they're in there. I guarantee there's one person in your audience, whether this be Instagram, Facebook, whatever, there's one person out there who is ready to book once we come forward with this addicted content, and once you show them, we just have to activate them to want it. It's okay to show up as a powerful woman, and no other powerful women are seeing me and recognizing me. If I'm not them, I know I'm still definitely one for others. That right there. Layla said this was a light bulb shattering moment for me when you dropped this through. This right here is like we're expecting our audience to buy, but we're doing the bare minimum. And today, I'm like I said, you're going to walk away with content pieces, or you're going to walk away with really good ideas that you can sit on and marinate on and bring that to your content. So just having the awareness moment of resentment. Now, I want to move into boundaries and potency. Because when we talk about having an addicted audience, how many of you had any doubts or were you afraid? Maybe if you've been in my world for a while, you knew this, but was there a sense of like, oh God, is she going to tell me to post 15 times a day so people are like addicted to you and they see you all the time? Or I don't want to be attached to social media. I don't want to be on my phone all day long. How many have outside lives, outside their business? I hope you're all raising your hand. I really, really hope so. Because having an addicted audience does not mean that you have to be on your phone 24/7, that you have to be in your Facebook group or on your Instagram. This is what I was saying right before I found you. Yeah. So you get to build a magnetic brand and you get to build an addicted audience because you have boundaries. And what I want you to tattoo on your forehead is my business will not be forgotten overnight. Your business will not be forgotten. If you take a mental health day, if you take a family vacation, the beautiful thing about having an addicted audience is that they're not going to forget you overnight. But if you're simply dropping in here and there with, hey, here's a flash sale. Hey, here's a model call. This babe was so confident. She unleashed her inner goddess. What a vixen. Then, yeah, they're going to forget about you if you take a break. But if you go on vacation, if you hype your audience up, if they realize that, like, hey, I'm just taking a personal day, nobody's going to forget about you overnight. You don't have to be online all the time. I feel inauthentic talking about myself because I don't feel like I know who I am. Does that make sense? Which is why I wanted to do this. Oh my gosh. Yes, it does. And my very next slide says, who the fuck are you? So we are going to figure that out. That's literally what the next slide is. So we are going to get into that. And a lot of people feel that way because they're like, who am I outside the business? So the first thing I recommend is setting your boundaries. Who has a schedule for their social media or who just pops on their phone throughout the day and answers comments? Let's see. I have a schedule all day, both really. I do not have a schedule, a little bit of both. I'm a popper inner. So what I recommend is finding a flow that works for you and then setting your phone down. You don't have to be on all day. If you feel like you're in this social media addiction, delete the apps on your phone and only use them at a computer. Force yourself to get down at the computer. So when I was going through this a couple years ago, I realized that I would just check my phone for no reason whatsoever other than a dopamine hit. And when you uninstall the apps off the phone, you catch yourself going to check. And then you get to have that awareness moment of like, what was I checking? I don't know. It was just habit. So while you're implementing these boundaries, I challenge you to do the delete the apps and see how many times a day you're checking your phone for no reason whatsoever. And then if you do have something to say, if you do want to go connect with your audience, do it on your computer. I'm frozen in fear. I use the schedule you recommended. Yeah, the hyperaction schedule. 5 minutes a day responding to Instagram comments, 5 minutes a day responding to Facebook. Like, it is such a lifesaver. I have a schedule. Sometimes I'm in it, sometimes I'm not. I check at night to comment. So, as long as you can give yourself the boundaries and recognize that having a personal brand and having an audience that loves you does not mean you're on your phone all day. It actually means honoring your boundaries. So, play around with what that feels like for you. Maybe you're only on in the morning. Maybe you're only on at night. Maybe you're on once in the morning, once at night, and you're playing with your family during the day or whatever. Find a flow that works good. The next part of this would be the potency. So you could be on your phone all day right now, checking in through all the comments, but you're just posting fluff. You're responding with hearts. You're responding with, thanks, girl, she did so great. And you're not actually communicating with your audience. If you were to go to your Instagram comments or your Facebook group right now, would you find responses that are like, oh, yeah, I love this outfit from the client closet? Or would you find conversations that are actually bettering society and rippling out your impact? And this right now is an honest question that you gotta have with yourself. That's the part I'm working on. Stop calling me out, Kiera. My assistant posts the artwork and engagement post. She posts 2 per day, and then I go and respond to comments, which is not many. I feel like I'm always on my phone. I'm working on it. She's calling me out. I am really trying to connect with my clients in the comments. So even outside of your comments, I would ask your guys' self, and we have a slide on this, like, what conversations are you having? What community are you creating? It's not up to your audience to create the community and to create the conversations. It's up to you as the leader. They're looking to you as the professional. Stale comments. I've been working on responding with more questions, connecting, but I don't know what to say. And this is where you get to dig deep. So if you guys don't feel like you know what to say, even after this workshop, I would brain dump and map out, like, why am I here? What am I doing? And that's what you'll see. So, 2 things as you're building an addicted audience, have your boundaries and have your potency. The more potent your conversations are, the less work you have to do. Because all of this filler, all of this fluff doesn't mean anything. If you're just popping in randomly to heart, to say thanks, oh my gosh, agree, LOL, what a babe, you're not having the impact that your brand could. Does that make sense? Okay, but how do you do this when they're just commenting with fire emojis? So since you're in Dominate, go watch the hyperaction training. You say, oh my gosh, she is fire. Would you wear this yourself? Oh my gosh, I know she's such a babe. Are you gonna do one? Is this your style? You spin it back on them and you ask for the engagement. You ask for the conversations. And it takes some practice because we're not used to it, because we're not used to responding and communicating. We're used to just staying in our hole and being like, here, I responded, but make them talk. Ask for the questions. And they're not always going to say something, but it is going to force you to get to know your community a little better. And that's where these conversations come from. Connection's important. I literally just asked the best yoga poses and advice for horrible and irregular periods. This right here, it's outside of the boudoir and into like the daily life. So here we go. Who the fuck are you? Who are you? Outside of the labels, outside of the titles and the duties, who are you? Like, why are you here on this planet? Why are you a boudoir photographer? What are you doing? I know I like my caption. What are you doing? And a lot of you probably can't answer that right now. So we're actually going to do a subconscious rewiring. And if you've never done that, it's quite a journey. Get ready. But I want you to set the intention that you're going to connect with who you are and you're going to find something and you're going to have a revelation of some point. So what we're going to do is this is our intention for the subconscious rewiring. So what happens is our subconscious holds all of these like little limiting beliefs and things that our ego thinks keeps us safe, but they actually just hinder us from our growth. They hinder us from showing up in our community because it feels like change. Welcome to Kiara's World, newbies. No, it's fun here. It really is. And we get right down to it. So what I want you to do, we're going to do an attraction subconscious rewiring. So if you guys did the Selling is Sexy workshop last, I don't know, April, I think it's almost a year ago. We did a subconscious rewiring to help infuse our conscious mind with the belief that selling is easy and we love it. But now we're going to do an attraction one where we're going to attract our soulmate clients, and we're really going to rewire the belief of why you're here. Who are you? What are you doing? So all you have to do is listen to my voice. Okay. My camera's actually going to be off so that you don't have any temptations to sneak a peek and to see what everybody else is doing. So close your eyes. You're just going to listen to the sound of my voice. You're going to get yourself into a comfortable position. And all you have to do is follow along. Okay. So go ahead and close your eyes. Listen to the sound of my voice. I invite you to take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. Go ahead and get yourself nice and relaxed. Take another deep breath in and try to get yourself 50% more comfortable. Go even deeper. And I invite you to envision a warm golden light coming in from the crown of your head. We're just going to connect to source energy right now. So this is like a warm, bright, soothing light. And it's going to enter through the crown of your head. And it's swirling all around. It's going down your face, around the back of your neck, down your throat chakra, and just feel yourself relaxing. You may feel tingles, you may feel heat. Really just take this moment to connect with the sensations. And I invite you to allow this warm golden light all the way down into your heart space. So today we're going to work on heart coherence because all of our connection is rooted in our heart. All of our connecting and selling is rooted in love. We build relationships with love, not out of spite, not out of boredom, and not out of should, but true empathetic love and the desire to build those connections. So I just want you to notice what your heart space feels like right now. You can envision yourself standing inside of your heart. Notice what color it is. What does the energy feel like? Is it thick? Is it sticky? Is it really flowy and empty? You can wait around. Just get really comfortable with your heart space right now. And what I want you to do is pull up a vision of your audience. This could be your Instagram, your Facebook group. It could be the people on your email list. And I just want you to pull up something that represents them. Okay? Maybe this is a shape, a color, whatever represents your audience, and have it out in front of you. And from the center of your heart, connecting to the center of the symbol, there is a cord. I want you to take that cord from your heart and connect it all the way out into your audience, okay? And now take your hands and grab that cord and hold on to it. And I want you to know, what does that feel like? What does the cord look like? What color is it? What's the texture? What is the temperature of this cord? And this is the moment that you get to realize this is your lifeline to your audience right now. This is your connection. This is how your audience views you. And this is how you pour into your audience. And what I want you to do is just send love. We're sending the most purest love From your heart space down this tether, down this cord, I invite you to send it to your audience right now. What feelings, what emotion. And our first phase in this attraction subconscious rewiring is to ask for forgiveness. Okay. So repeat in your mind's eye the following phrases, sending them with love down the tether to your audience. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry. I love you. Please forgive me. I'm sorry for putting any expectations on you that were my own made up requirements. I'm sorry for getting frustrated when I didn't receive the validation that I desired. I'm sorry for ghosting you, for being really involved one month and then ditching and hiding in the shadows because it didn't go my way the next month. I'm sorry for doing the bare minimum and not being the leader that I know you're craving. Forgive me for following the pack and not using my own voice. I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for you being in my space. I'm so grateful that you chose me. You chose to be in my world out of all of the other people. You attracted my energy to my artwork. I'm sending you so much love. And now I promise to show up wholly, to show up purely, to show up unfiltered so that you can feel the connection I'm craving for us. I'm no longer talking at you. I'm talking with you. I want to connect with you. I want to build a brand that you love to see pop up in your feed. You love seeing my post. You love hearing from me. You love hearing from my clients. And I'm so excited to do this journey with you. I'm so excited to invite all of you into my studio. I'm so grateful for those of you who won't get the chance to step into my studio, but you support me online. I'm so grateful for those of you who don't comment, but you're there energetically and you're sending me love and you're thinking about the session that you're going to book one day. I have so much trust in myself and I can self-generate validation that I'm not going to get hung up on engagement metrics. I'll no longer put you in a chokehold of engaging. I am here for you. I accept you. And I'm so excited to see what adventures we go on. And now I'm going to have you take another deep breath in, anchoring into this subconscious moment, and send love down that tether. Now that you've made your commitment and made your reclamation, your proclamation to your audience, send more love. And notice what's happening to this tether. What does it look like now? What is the temperature feeling like? How did it transform? What does your audience look like now? How do they feel? And take another deep breath in. And you're going to ask your audience to give you a moment to yourself. We are practicing boundaries right now. You are not tethered to your audience 24/7. You have the ability to unclip. So I want you to imagine yourself unclipping the tether from your heart and just putting it on the shelf. And when you're ready to engage with that audience, you get to clip it right back in. You're not forgetting them. You're not disappearing from them. You're being very intentional. So simply unclip, Put them in your safe space. And now I invite you to take an even deeper breath. Exhale. And we are going to dive into who are you? So as you're sitting alone in your heart space, there is no judgment. There is no requirements. There are absolutely no expectations. This is simply you and yourself. This is you and your higher self, your inner soul, your energetic being. I want you to ask yourself, who am I? Who am I? Outside of photographer, outside of friend, daughter, mother, spouse, partner, cheerleader, encourager, promoter. Who are you? And if you don't know, that's okay. Take another deep breath in and just notice any signs, any phrases, any sensations. And you're going to ask your higher self, what do I need to know right now in order to show up as my true self in front of my audience? What do I need to know? Just take a moment and listen. What do you want me to know? And then our next question, what do you want me to say? I have this big, beautiful audience at my fingertips. What do you want me to say to them? What am I not saying? What am I afraid of because it's too different? It's too weird. Where am I too weird for my audience? What moments of self-sabotage or embarrassment or fear of not being liked? Where are those moments? And can you let them go? So any moment of feeling uninteresting, boring, I just invite you to let them wash away right now. Because your weirdness is what's going to attract your next client. This is exactly where you need to be. And this is exactly who you're going to show up as. So take a deep breath in through your nose, out through your mouth. And knowing what weirdness, what quirks, what memories you had, you're going to bring those forward to your conscious mind and utilize that as your superpower. So take a deep breath in through your nose one more time. Out through your mouth. Bring yourself back into this current moment. Go ahead and open your eyes. Stretch your neck. Come right back on. And in the comments, we're going to do our debrief. So shake it out. Grab a drink of water if you need it. And we're back to this page of who are you? And what did you realize? What came through? How are you feeling? Cassie said, I literally love you. I love the rewirings. Aren't these fun? So let's answer a few questions. Let's do a debrief. What did your cord to your audience look like when you started? And then how did it feel after? Ooh, Veronica, you envisioned an old phone cord. I can't see your video anymore. Can you guys see my face? It was braided like the old spirally ones. Black and way too short, like the worst phone charger, like they're clinging to you. There was no space from you to your audience. Ooh, I'll have to do this again. My mind made me do this on another level. The rewiring, sometimes it takes a few times because it's asking you to go really, really deep. Mine was as white, almost like an umbilical cord. So weird. Self-love is hard. I hide my true self all the time. My cord was wild and energetic, but almost impossible to hang on to. Now it is high energy, like a path in a Marvel movie. How interesting is that? Like, you have this beautiful, wild, amazing cord, but it's like, I can't grip it. We're hiding ourselves. Ooh, my cord is like a fiber optic lamp. Mine was like a white, glowy silk string. How did it change? So, how did it change after you sent it love? How did it grow? What did it feel like? So, I do these myself before I run a program. I'll do the rewiring myself. And mine felt so much warmer, so much deeper versus what it was. It got thicker, it was pulsing, even more colorful. When I re-envisioned it, it came loose, it got a lot longer, warm to the touch. Anytime you start to feel like your audience is dead, you're stagnant, you can connect to your heart space. This is simple heart coherence energy movement. You can connect to your heart space and analyze your cord. This can be done with people, with audiences, with money. If you guys struggle with money mindset, this is a great one to do. Mine did loosen up and then I made it contract again. Got way thicker and the details in the cords were more present. It got warmer. It was amazing to see the transformation, high energy but peaceful. Ooh, this is good. Black. It turned into a cord branching out into all different directions. My cord was dull and faint. It stayed long but came extremely warm and glowy. Can you guys see this energetic representation of when we are just posting fluff, when we are only posting sales, versus when we pour in with love and connection? Of course, it is going to grow. Of course, it is going to go on. So, now what I want you to do is tell me what you realize about yourself. So, when I said, "Who are you?" what are you supposed to be talking about? What feelings came up? What sensations? Did your body go stiff? Did it relax? Did you see yourself in a new light? What came through with that? Because this is what we're going to create content on. My brain said I'm a creative. And where are you hiding that creativity? So where are you hiding behind that? Okay, I'm going to post a story here. I'm going to do this versus whatever it wants to be. Mine was still like that, but stronger. It honestly makes sense. I do nurture my group like the cord does a baby. I heal them. I give them so much. It's an unbreakable bond. First thing I thought of was a leader, and it made me tense up, and also an artist. Embracing our leadership is one of the number one components of having an addictive brand. If you cannot embrace this authoritative position, your audience isn't going to trust you. Someone who wants the best for everyone because they deserve it, even if they don't deserve it in everyone else's eyes. Ooh, I always hate this question because I feel like I had to be one thing, but realizing I'm many things and learning to accept that. It's that right there. It's not one thing. It's not one label. Maybe you're a nurturer. Maybe you're an activator, which means you're here to activate other people's energy, other people's excitement, their zest for life. Mine said, I'm a strong badass who needs to stand out and stop hiding. Yes. I'm just a sweet little girl that wants to feel the freedom to have fun and be loved. And this is really important because I feel like as entrepreneurs, we're supposed to portray ourselves as these badass, like hype, strong, I'm so amazing, but also like you can be soft and loving and connect with people. I'm holding back from being me. I'm holding back from being energetic and silly in my online presence. My best piece of advice is if you guys are silly and quirky and weird in real life, please let that show through in your audience, because if we are only presenting ourselves as this uber professional, I've got it all together, everything's going to be perfect, I run a successful business, and then they walk into your studio and you're like tripping over things and you're goofy and you're singing and you're laughing and you say awkward things, that's how I am. What a disconnect that's going to be for our client, because they're expecting some like very professional, like almost rigid version of ourselves because we've been masking who we really are. And we need to give them both. We need to give them this real life. Someone who pours into everyone and wants to belong. It felt a lot about giving back. so quirky in real life, and I do not think you see that online. Someone once told me in my studio my passion level is so intense, but online it doesn't come across. I'm definitely wearing a mask. And this is the point. We will not have an addicted brand if we have a mask on. Your audience isn't going to be jumping up and down when you say, "Hey, who wants to come wear this trash bag and test out a creative vision?" Because they only know you as the business owner. They only know you as that little logo profile picture and not yourself. So are we feeling better? Did we have some revelations, some breakthroughs after our little rewiring about what we can do to anchor into this more addictive? And I'll never say what you should do because it's your choice. You don't have to go implement this into your content, into your audience. You can still say the same, but does it give you a stepping stone on where to go from here? You can look for all of the content packs, you can look for all of the algorithm hacks, but literally, the only thing that's going to connect you to your audience, to your brand on a deeper level is you yourself. Okay. So now, before we get in, how are we feeling? Do we feel judged? Do we feel ready to go? Are you reinvigorated to get into your audience? Because now it's the strategy. We went through the mindset stuff, we went through the energetics, we cleared the resentment, and now I'm giving you tangible, juicy, strategic stuff that you can take into your audience today, which I love. Feeling good, excited to go forward. The urge to stop showing up with a sweater and pajama pants all the time when I really want to be free and bold and sexy. Yes, stop hiding. Feels like I need a nap now. So we did do energy work. So if you guys have some very I need a nap, I need some water, I need to relax, that's normal. We just dug up a lot of stuff inside of you. So try to rest today. Try to really have a comfy moment. So let's dig into what the heck do we post? Okay, here we know that we need to, show our true selves. We know that we need to connect to our audience, but what does that look like? It looks like relatability. So people who are searching for a boudoir session, they don't want a big Amazon company. They don't want hotshots.com, come get your quickie nudes. Like, no. Okay. So we need to be showing up as the relatable person. So relatable content builds the most trust. More than authoritative content, more than sales posts, more than before and afters, it's the relatability from you. And the easiest way to get a client to book with you is to have an audience that trusts you, okay? It makes sense. You can have the deepest, most well written model call with all of the application forms and the juiciest discount and the best positioning of pricing. But if they don't know who you are, there is no motivation to reach out and book with you. They're just going to go to the girl down the street who shows her true self. They're going to go to that person who shows up with their messy house and their messy studio after a session. All right. So, relatable content. This looks like sharing a no makeup selfie. This looks like saying, "Hey guys, I'm having a mental health day. I'm not going to be online today." This looks like showing the messy studio after a session and being like, "Oh my gosh, it was amazing. It was so exciting. I want you to get into relatable content." So, in the comments, what are some relatable content ideas that you could go post today that you would have been like, "Nope, that's too personal. Nope, I don't want to share that. Can't do it." So, give me some examples and I'm going to riff on it and help you craft some post ideas. About therapy, I just started. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine? So, whether this be like a mentor, a photographer, some type of service provider that you were looking up to, and they got on their page one day and they're like, "Hey, I just wanted to give you guys a little life update. Like, I just started therapy. There are some things that I've been going through, and I really decided that I needed that support. And here's your permission to go ask for help when you need it." How comforting is that going to feel versus the professional who acts like, "Oh, I've got it all together. It's no big deal." Now, caveat, here's your side note. I'm not saying go share your personal traumas all over the internet. It's never that. You get to decide how much you want to keep hidden and how much you want to say. But it is showing up and saying, "You know what? I am going through some shit. Bye." And not posting color, black and white when you're actually having a really hard day. "My group is amazing. This babe was fire." When you're crying and grieving on the inside because you just went through something really horrible and you do deserve a break. This is where having that that boundary and the potency comes in. All right, let's look through some comments. Okay. Oh, we are chatting. I love this. A sink full of dishes, but still ignoring them. Andrea, I'm pretty sure a ton of people in your group could resonate with that. Of like, wow, here she is running this amazing business, and she also has a sink full of dishes. This is very important because it takes you off the pedestal. So if you've noticed, any type of person who has an online following, anybody you guys look up to, influencers, people in our industry, other boudoir photographers who just have that engaged audience, whether we mean to or not, we put them on a pedestal because they feel bigger than life. That is how your audience views you. They see you as this wonderful leader. They see you with this really cool person. Like, you take photos of naked humans for a living. That is so much cooler than working at a bank. Okay, and that's how they feel. So they've immediately put you up on this pedestal, and that's intimidating. So they're intimidated to book, even if they don't realize it. So relatable content knocks us down off this invisible pedestal that they made up, and it puts us on an even playing level. Does that make sense? Can you see how, just as humans, we idolize people online who seem to have it all together? That's why we want to show some of the ugly truth sometime. The disconnect with my daughter at this time, yeah, I'm sure so many parents in your audience have felt that before. And this could even be asking advice like, hey, moms, have you guys ever experienced this? They love to help. They would love to be a part of that conversation. I just shared today about not wanting to do a maternity session after the loss of our first baby and how much I regret it. And you just opening that conversation, I'm sure there was a mother of loss in your group who could connect with that versus just saying, here's another beautiful maternity shoot. Life is grand. I'm having a great time. We owe it to our audience to build that human connection and to say, oh, she's just like me. They're just like me. Feeling old and fat. Oh my gosh. So, who here has ever done the whole, oh, I'm a boudoir photographer. I'm supposed to love myself. I'm supposed to be comfortable with body positivity because that's what I'm preaching to my clients. Honestly, if you are not sharing your hard body days, no matter what size or shape you are, that's the easiest form of relatable content for a boudoir photographer because it takes your bias out of it. You get to say, yes, I don't feel comfortable in my clothes today, and I'm not loving the way my body feels with a mirror bathroom selfie, showing your full vulnerability and relatability, letting your group see you because to you or to them, you look like this very high professional who knows how to pose all bodies and who just must have a fabulous relationship with body image because you're the professional. And you could never relate to me having a bad body image day. No, go show that. Postpartum, weight transformations, anything like that. Go out there and talk about it. Yeah, Felicia does a great way of embodying this in her group. She's one that I see consistently talking about her hard body days and then also giving them the space to have their own too. So, navigating dating after separation. Everyone loves when I show them my belly when I'm having weird body days. Guilty of hiding my body days, being lonely, how hard it is to make friends. This is something that's really resonated in my group is yes, we have a successful business. Yes, we have so many amazing industry friends that we get to connect with on boudoir trips, but our real life is freaking lonely. We do not have very many friends in Indiana. It's so hard to make friends. And that's something that I brought into my group. And it's actually like many people are going through that. Oh, okay. Scrolling through there, and just honestly, you guys, look through everybody else's comments right now, and I'm sure you have correlations. There's probably 10 posts that you guys could make in the next month just on relatable content. Like, is your brain exploding right now with how easy this gets to be? Because you don't have to worry about sales psychology in this. I love some sales psychology tips, but use your real life, your everyday life, and there's your content dump. So jot down on your notes app or on your phone these ideas of like, wow, there are so many posts right at my fingertips, and these are going to get you more bookings than the model call ones. because you're building the steps. You're building the relationships. So after 90 days, once you're done sharing relatable content and positioning yourself as the authoritative, as the professional, like watch how your next thing is going to sell out because you have an addicted audience. Everyone loves my wild dating stories. Yeah, they do. It's amazing. We love it at Prox. It's the best. I'm always here for the updates. Completely know that feeling. I'll give you the best advice someone gave me. The hardest relationship you will ever have is a healthy one after a toxic one. Talk about that to your audience. Like, bring these bits of knowledges and life lessons. And actually, here's a conversation we had in the mastermind a couple weeks ago. I think it was with Felicia. You don't have to talk about the lessons that you're learning right now. When you're in the thick of something, if you are struggling with a trauma, with a revelation, don't share that right now. Give yourself the privacy to move through it. But what did Kiara 5 years ago need to hear? What did Cindy 3 months ago need to hear? What did Erica last summer go through that you are now so far removed from the life lessons that you can share on it now? And I think that's something so good for relatable content is that you don't have to share what you're currently going through. So what's something that you guys have gone through? And we're going to get really personal right now. Back in 2020, I shared something massive in my group of how my partner, so at one point in time, Caleb struggled with alcohol and my life fell apart in 2017 and he never came home. And I got a call from the jail and it was like, hey, I got a DUI. I have I've shared this all over. This isn't me airing out dirty laundry. But when I go to my memories in 2017, it's me popping into my group with a live video, decorating the Christmas tree, saying, "Oh, I'm so excited for Christmas. I'm so excited for all of these amazing Christmas minis we have coming." Instead of grieving and trying to deal with the personal shit that was going on, I felt like I had to be posting 15 times a day. So I had to go show up on Facebook when my mental health was shit, when my personal life was crashing down, and it was so forced and so hard. So in 2020, 3 years later, I went to my audience and I said, look, here's what we've navigated as a couple through the years. Here's how we have dealt with, addiction and overcoming that in personal relationships. I was not sharing these deep oriented stories of relatability in the moment. That was 3 years removed. But the moment I shared that, and I did it in a live video, my group exploded because on Facebook at the time, Caleb and I looked like the perfect little happy couple. We were about to have our first baby. We had just bought our dream home. I was 24, 25, like we were living the dream life. And when I stripped it down, I was like, no, listen, this is what we went through. It took us off the pedestal, and people are like, I'm just like you. Wow, you're not some like super unattainable shiny star. And we launched a model call like 2 weeks after that, and people came out of the woodwork. And I was like, oh my gosh, relatability. This is your biggest marketing aspect, is showing your true self. I'm waiting to share the disappointments of the latest toxicity and court stuff until it's done. That's the thing. Things are so emotionally charged in the moment. You don't need to share them now. Share them later and go through the lessons that you've already accomplished, because I'm sure so many of us have lots of life lessons that can help impact other people. So, give me some thumbs up. Does relatable content make sense? Does this give you some ideas on what to share, when to share it, how to share it? And as far as how many times a week, which is whatever feels good. I like to stay pretty realistic with my group. So maybe like once a week, a piece of relatable content. There is no specific framework of you have to do this and this. It's just whatever feels good. Okay. Yay. All right. Let's go. Perfect. I see the thumbs up. That's super juicy. Now, what's your zone of genius? We talked on this a little bit when we did the bragging, but what are you so freaking good at? And why are you hiding it under the boudoir fluff? What are you so good at in your job? Okay. And here's the biggest example is so a lot of times my clients are like, well, I'm really good at posing women for their shoots. Like, I'm a really good poser. Well, that's fine. And your content would look like, oh, I pose you from head to toe. That's still boudoir fluff. But you know what's not boudoir fluff and what's actually tangible and real is, so when you walk into the studio, I'm going to get you into your favorite outfit, and then I'm going to give you a wedgie. Yes, I'm a professional wedgie giver, but it's because it frames your booty in the most perfect light and you're going to be amazing. Okay. That right there is taking an ethereal concept of like, oh, I'll pose you from head to toe, to be like, nah, girl, like, I'm actually going to be up in your bodysuit, giving you a wedgie so that you can have the most poppin' booty in those shadows. Because if you don't tell your audience that, they're gonna walk into your session and be like, "You're gonna do what? You're gonna give me a wedgie?" And now my clients are like, "Is it wedgie time yet? Do we know? Is it my turn?" They know. It's a thing. So what is your zone of genius and how can you bring it more tangible instead of boudoir fluff? Okay? This is connecting the dots. This is going to make your audience trust you more and want to buy. Because if you say, oh, I'll pose you from head to toe, that's great. But what about the woman who doesn't believe she has a good butt? The girl who's always like, I have a flat butt. You need to bring that to the forefront and say, listen, I know you have a flat booty. That's what you tell yourself. But I'm an expert at lighting and shadows, and I can make like the flattest pancake butt look like the juiciest peach. This is what we get to do. You are taking their subconscious fears. Maybe you have a really great discount going on, a model call, and your girl is scrolling and she's reading and she's like, wow, that's a pretty photo. But subconsciously, her mind is not stopping. Her mind is not stopping and saying, hey, she's talking to you because she is so far removed from feeling comfortable in her body. She is so far removed from believing that her butt could look like that, that she scrolls by. There's no internal bell. So you have to pull out her fears and position it as you already know her fears. And here's how to prove you wrong. So you literally get to say in your content, like, hey, I know you think you have a pancake butt, but listen, I photographed over 100 different women with 100 different butts, and I know how to make each and every one a juicy peach. I have specific lighting. I give you a wedgie. I help turn your hips and I pull your feet back. I can literally make you look like you have a Kim K booty. Even if you have the flattest 13-year-old boy prepubescent flat butt cheek ever. Get real. Get real with your audience and connect the dots. Yeah. Hey, flat ass. Like, this is subconscious marketing. This is pulling out your zone of genius and ditching the boudoir fluff and marketing your superpowers into language that will connect the dots. This is how you build an addictive audience, by already having the answer for their objections. Okay? I'm reading the comments. Authoritative voice, working on it. Yeah, this is such a good point. So many girls say that. That couldn't be me. I give the best wedgies in Georgia is my line. I joke about making it a t-shirt. That. So we want to bring in so many aspects of that. So another thing that I hear a lot is, oh, I make my clients feel so comfortable. Well, that's fine. And that's really great for every other client of yours. But I'm really awkward. And like, I'm very shy. And there's no way you can make me feel comfortable, is what your audience's subconscious is telling them. So they're not going to sit and read that really amazing post because they're like, oh, well, you make people feel comfortable, but I'm weird. Did you know that one of the biggest human like fears is not fitting in and not being enough? Like in the world, the realm of subconscious neuroscience, it's like one of the biggest fears is not being enough and not fitting in. So you get to say, like, hello, weirdos, like, I'm here for you. I want all of your weirdness. So I want you to dig deep into, like, what's the weirdest thing you do? And tell your audience that and let them know, like, hey, I know you think you're awkward. I know you think you're quirky and, like, it's going to be really weird. But I want to let you know that I will probably trip over nothing 4 times during your session. I will probably tell you to do the wrong thing because I stumble over my words all of the time. and we're probably gonna have to take a break and go find my camera because I left it on the other side of the room. It's a very chill environment, and it's not rigid, and it's not cold, and there's music playing, and we're actually talking during your shoot. So I don't expect you to be like a model. I don't expect you to know exactly what to do, and we're going to stumble through it together. It feels like you're hanging out with a BFF, not some random woman on the internet that you found. We need to be talking like this in our content instead of saying, I make you feel so comfortable. Okay, but how? How? How do you make people feel comfortable? This is building an addictive audience. It's painting the picture and putting them in it so they're like, "Oh my gosh, like, yes, that could be me. I'm the awkward one. Hi, me." I would even tell a story that's like, in your head, you know exactly what you wanna say, but then you go to talk to your friends, and it's just like this weird word vomit of like, "What the heck did I just say?" Tell a personal story like that and let them see that you're the same way. I found out I sound like a gremlin when I see a post that I love. Take behind the scenes and show your weirdness, show your awkwardness, and show them that your zone of genius is literally the answer for their um, objections. Does this make sense? Can you see how we can start breaking down our content to get out of the boudoir fluff, turning it into everyday real language, marketing your superpowers, in a way that connects the dots for your reader? Great post for past clients would be, let's play a game. How many times did blank lose her camera during your shoot? Absolutely. Anything that is telling a story, giving them a visual, painting the picture. So, a classic example is like, you know, you wake up in the morning and you get excited for the day until you remember you have to get dressed. And then you walk into your closet and it's like, oh, nothing. Nothing feels good. I don't love any of my outfits. So why the heck would I want to get naked on camera if I don't even like my clothing on a daily basis? And that's when you go into how you have a client closet, and it's not their job to pick out the outfits. You say, I'm not even going to let you choose. I'm going to pick out things for your body type. I'm going to find the items that look best for you. And all of a sudden, you're going to think that you've teleported to a different lifetime when you do like your body. Give them the story, give them the solution to their objective. Okay. Zone of genius, marketing your superpowers. Does this make sense? Yes. Amazing. I love it. Okay. Moving on. So I want you guys to really focus on this. There are a lot of content ideas there. So outside of the relatable content, like how can you everyday language what you do on the daily basis? One more because I just realized it. One of your zone of geniuses is maybe you do IPS, same day reveal. And what how you can position that as a marketing point to create an addicted audience is, hey, listen, I know you only have a limited number of PTO days. You're a very busy woman. You're a very high corporate leader, or, you're a very busy mom, whoever it is. I know you can't get a sitter 2 different times. So we're gonna knock out everything in one day. You can have a babysitter from 9 to 3 and then be done. You don't have to come back again. To us, doing a same day reveal sounds like one of our everyday processes. It's just like cool. But to your client, that is a subconscious indication to say, oh my gosh, wait, no, I could just get childcare for one day. Like, this is amazing. You're helping me. Like, thank you. Yes, I might actually consider this now. See, little itty bitty tweaks. Okay. My favorite, selling is just connecting. I don't have any tattoos. For being such a creative person, like, I actually don't have any tattoos, but if I were to get one, it would probably be this quote that I made up. Selling is just connecting because it's true. What conversations are you wanting to have? When we did that little subconscious rewiring, what did you want to speak to? And I'm not talking about your pre-education about prepayment plans and how you have a client closet. I'm talking outside of boudoir on an impact. What topics do you need to lead? Your community is craving a leader, and that means creating the conversations that are lacking in society. And it's up to you. Like, This means not filtering your message to fit the mold because you're too weird or you're too awkward or you're too new or too old, okay? It means not filtering yourself and just clicking post. It means ditching the fluff and actually asking the questions to get to know your people. So instead of doing a post that says, "What time did you see this post?" I want you to ask them, "What are you celebrating this week?" Or "What are you struggling with this week?" And then go read the comments from your community, guys. Like, go read and get to know your people. If you want an engagement hack, there you go. Instead of, "What time did you see this post? Let's count to 100." Ditch the fluff. Go get to know your people. You're asking or you're saying, "I don't know what they want to hear. I don't know what they want to be talking about." Well, go ask. Ask them what they're dealing with. What do they need to vent about? What is the celebration? What's something you guys are looking forward to this year? What would you ask somebody in person? And that's what you take to your group. Letting go of conditioning that sensuality is bad, feeling safe and protected. See, right now I won't shut up about celebrating and how we pass it by. Yes, asking them to celebrate. I feel pulled to point out that self love can be hard. You don't have to do it alone. I'm on a journey and would love to have you join me. I might make it look easy, but it isn't always easy. So even then, I would dig deeper and say, how many of you have wanted to dive deeper into self love, but like booking a regular massage, taking a moment without the kids? Like we're dealing with that guilt and open up that conversation of how to negate mom guilt when you're trying to cultivate a relationship of self love. All of these things are conversations. In sensuality, I would ask your group instead of a fluffy engagement post of like, "What color underwear are you wearing?" I would do, "When's the last time you touched yourself?" They're gonna be like, "What? Excuse me?" You're like, "Yeah, I'm here to help women feel sexually liberated. So let's talk about it. Let's get into it." Can you see how these are opening the floor for communication? In a way, okay, so if you guys are not communicating with your audience like this, there is going to be a rough point, maybe a transition period where it might be quiet because somebody's going to be too afraid to answer these personal questions until they realize like this is a community, a safe space. So I would give them some multiple choice to kind of start this off. If you want to connect with people, I would be like, "Okay, when's the last time you touched yourself? A, B, or C? I do it on the daily. B, oh my gosh, I can't believe you just said that. I don't touch myself. C, that's a good reminder. Maybe I should go do that." Have them comment A, B, or C. Give them an easy out that's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't talk about this." Or give them one that's like, "I want to participate in this game, but I'm actually embarrassed." And if they comment that one, I will go comment back and be like, "I'm so glad you felt safe enough to say this because this is part of my mission as a boudoir photographer. Like, I want to cultivate a healthy relationship with sexuality. And I'm here to break the stigma and like start the conversation that way, even if it's just from a multiple choice question." So, this is where you get to realize that you're not a big corporation, you're a personal brand. Amazon's not out here asking us how our mental health is. They're just trying to sell us these little stress reliever tension balls and trying to give us a solution without the connection. And it can work because they're Amazon. But us little small businesses out here, our selling is based on connecting. So your boudoir business gets to be your outlet to your impact. Because even if they don't book a session with you right now, your ripple effect, your purpose in life can be felt throughout your online spaces. And maybe one day they will be a yes. So when you focus on your impact, your audience becomes addicted to the ripple effect and the society like impact is astronomical. Can you imagine if we started helping more humans have these conversations around liberation, self-love, investing, spending money on yourself and not feeling guilty? Like, look at the ripple effect that you can do. So the next time you feel like, "Oh, my audience isn't responding," well, what are you creating? What conversations are you having? And then come back to this and look at all of these little brain notes and ideas. So drop in the comments right now What's a conversation you're going to start tonight in your audience? And obviously, this could be a Facebook group, but this could also be like a question and answer box on Instagram if you hang out on Instagram. It could be a love letter to your email list with a little meditation, inviting them to take a few moments of peace for themselves. Ooh, that's my new mantra. I am the outlet to connection and impact. I don't always need something being plugged in. Exactly. One potent conversation like this could have more connection than 15 engagement posts a day. And this right here is going to make you more excited about your group because you're not going to be ball and chain to it. They're going to feel like they know you on a deeper level. They're going to be more obsessed with you because you're the real person. You're saying the things that they're too afraid to say. Okay. That it's okay to feel terrible in a toxic relationship and also feel like it's not time to leave yet. Oh, so many people can resonate with this. I guarantee there are so many people out there who are like in this position, but they feel alone. So go be the leader and go connect. And then you're like, okay, this is great. We're having these conversations, but how does that make me more money in my business? Because you're building trust, you're connecting, and selling is literally just connecting with your people and getting to know them. I love supporting small businesses. I love when we hire other photographers to shoot us, I love paying them. I love to pay in full. I love to just give them a cash injection because I know them. I know that person. And your audience gets to feel that way too because they're not just paying Kiara Josette Artistry. They're paying Kiara and they know her and they saw her messy room the other night and they know what struggles she's going through and how she won and accomplished that. Don't forget to share your celebrations too. So let's see. Ooh, like sometimes I feel like it was the wrong decision to leave. And sharing that you don't have to have all the answers right now. Who recently resented being a mom, but at the same time loved the shit out of the kids and would die for them. Woo, girlfriend, catch me in your comments because wow, I feel that. Like I can relate so hard to playing. Here's another conversation for most of us is like comparing yourself to the old version of you, the pre-motherhood, the pre-relationship or pre-COVID version, and just letting your audience say it's okay to find a new you and it's okay to struggle with that. It's not always going to be super, super easy. Just witnessing your audience in their revolution. All right. So selling is just connecting. And I really encourage you to brain map what your conversations are today in your businesses. Like, what do you want to do? If you guys are in Dominate, like this is Business Pillars 101. I walk you through exactly how to find this and like why it's so important to recognize that as your business evolves, so do you. And that's where these conversations come from. Yeah, she does. She's very unrelatable, but the conversations are great. Responding to Emily's comment there. Someone who's constantly apologizing to their kid. I'm learning as I go, and there's so much about parenting that I'm unlearning. These are all conversations that have absolutely nothing to do with boudoir, but they have everything to do with it because they're getting to know you on a human level. So then when you do pop up with a flash sale or a model call, they trust you, they know you, they don't see you as this shiny, super professional, authoritative, like, I can't obtain her. They see you as an equal, as a leader, though, somebody who's a helping hand to guide them. And they're like, yes, I want to spend my money with you. It makes sense. Okay. Addictive audience strategies. So we've gone all over lots of content ideas, lots of energetics. Here's some downright tangible strategies that you can go change today. First things first, it's your name posting, not your social media manager. Please, please, please make sure that it's your account posting in your group or it's your name. I would even say your name and not your business name. So if you have like a cutesy business name of like, I'm trying not to use anybody's business name, but like Vixen's After Dark Boudoir or something like that, don't post from your page. We don't want them connecting with the company. We want them connecting with your name. If you have somebody else doing your scheduling, make sure they're posting from your account. We want your name to pop up in every piece of content that they can. We want to build that connection. This goes for your Instagram profile photos, your profile photos. We want your face, not a client's. We want them seeing your smiley face, so go to your headshots if you haven't done it lately. But having a client photo, even if it's a picture of your work, is not building that relatability and that trust. So that badass photo that you love on your Instagram, go pin it to your page instead of your profile picture. I've been trying to get my group to interact with my business personal account instead of my personal one, so I've been posting from that account. Whichever one it is, make sure it has your name at least. So who has ever felt like a roommate in your relationship while knowing you're completely with your in-game person? Oh, yep, that's a great one. So go update your profile pictures. They want to see your space. They want it to be easy. Don't make it a booty picture of you. I know you've got amazing selfies, but like, let them see your face. Let them build that connection. And are you showing your face regularly on just like a selfie in your group? Let them get to connect. Show yourself outside the studio, okay? These are all very easy, create an addictive audience strategies that you could go and implement right now. So go change your profile pictures, go make sure it's your name, go make sure you're showing up in your audience and not hiding behind your business Facebook, okay? I show it on stories on Instagram, but need to get some updated headshots. I feel like my face is uncomfortably in my group now, but I know it's good to have my face in there. I'm not saying you guys have to show your face every day. You don't even have to show your face every week, but just a little like, oh, this is me, or a picture of your messy house, that relatability, okay? All right, engagement. Ready? Engagement's a two-way street. Don't ghost your people and expect them to obsess over you. Right there. Mic drop. You're creating these magical conversations that we went through, and then you're not going and responding. Hello, they're going to stop responding because you're not creating the conversation. You're not responding back. So if you make a really vulnerable post and you ask the people, like, hey guys, what are you struggling with? Go back and offer support. They don't want to just be left hanging. So if you have these amazing conversations from 2 slides ago about selling is just connecting, but then you leave your clients on red, kind of shitty. They're not immediately going to say like, "Oh, wow, how rude you didn't comment back." But they're going to stop commenting because they don't get that reciprocation. So yes, it is a give and take. It is a give and receive. So be having conversations that you want to have, not fluffy conversations about what you eat for breakfast. Unless you need breakfast recipes, then there we go. Communicate back and forth. It's a no-brainer, but we forget. We schedule all the content. We're like, okay, I did it. I got the relatable post. I got the subconscious marketing. I'm marketing my superpowers. And then you move on to the next post and you don't go back and respond. So engagement's a two-way street. Ooh, deep breath, okay? Here we go. Here's our recap. An addictive audience. Here's your cheat sheet. You're bringing the love even when the money isn't there yet. So you lead first and the money follows. So go show up, go connect, go conversate, go make and lead the conversations and stop waiting for the bookings. Don't get excited about the bookings and then go pour into your community. It's the opposite. You pour into your community, you lead the energy, you get excited, and then the money is a byproduct of your connecting, okay? Market your superpowers. Brag on yourself. Turn it into language that they can see themselves in. If you're only marketing with your clients' images, as in like, today's babe wore a green bodysuit. She was fire. Leave her some love. The bodysuit's from the client closet. You're doing a massive disservice to yourself. Show them that you gave her a wedgie to do this booty pop. Show them that she was nervous, and instead of just jumping into photographing, you guys sat down and you chatted for 15 minutes before you even picked up the camera. Engage with your community. Duh. Two-way street. We just talked about that. Show your relatability. Be a normal person. Get yourself off the pedestal. Have the boundaries in place so that you're not addicted to your social media. So you go in with more potencies. We're amplifying the potencies. Be the sunshine. Like, you go into the group, you start the conversation, you are radiating the sunshine, and it makes sense. If you're the gloomy little cloud in your group who's like, nobody's responding, nobody's engaging, everybody else is going to be a little gloomy rainstorm cloud too. Go be the sunshine. Go get excited. We have to be able to self-generate our validation so that our audience can reciprocate. Drop the resistance and go lead with love. If you feel a disconnection from your audience, send them love. You are so magnetic. You just have to turn it on. You just have to be okay with getting uncomfortable. And what we find is the addictive audience correlates with sales. So if you don't feel like you have an addicted audience, normally you don't feel like your sales are doing that well because it goes hand in hand. When you do show up and you do connect and you do these content types and you do the energetic work and the mindset work around your community, the sales follow. Obviously, you're pairing it with strategy and everything else, but first you have to have the audience to buy. If you don't have an audience who is obsessed and in love with you, you have no one to sell to. Okay? So, how do we feel? That was a lot. Boom, baby. Yes. Whew. What we get to do is we get to go out and we get to lead. You get to be the leader. And if you've never seen yourself as a leader, sometimes that's a little uncomfortable, but it's something to embrace. So many notes, so much better about this. I love it all. So much goodness here. Yes, yes, yes. I love this. So, if anything, just go be more real and consistent and respond back and show yourself and your business the love that you deserve. You are not a corporation. I mean, technically, we are a corporation. My business is an S corp for tax purposes, but I do not show up that way online, and that is why we have the successful business that we do. You're a personal brand. Go start acting like it. Go love yourself enough to show up unfiltered. And if people leave, good. They weren't going to buy from you anyways. So on the back end of this, celebrate the unsubscribers because we are filtering our audience. I feel like I'm actually walking away with steps to truly improve in this thing because I'm such a you can have all the strategy in the world, but if you don't clear the energetic shit, it's not going to work. But also, you can't just have the ethereal energetics without the strategy and the tangible ideas to compare. So I love a good mix of woo and strategy. Seriously, just took a million notes for content. I can't wait to share. You guys, if you make any Instagram posts or Facebook posts, share it in a DM with me on Instagram because I love reading people's content and I can go hype you up too. But okay. Oh, I love it. We're excited. Replay. I'm going to render this. So it'll probably be a couple hours. I will send it out in an email. Dominate people. This was our Dominate training for the month. So it'll be up in your portals when this is done. If you guys have any questions, always feel free to message me. Just check your emails later. It'll have the replay. Probably just going to send out in a Dropbox links so you guys can click it whenever, or I might put it on a hidden YouTube link. That way it won't expire. You'll have it to go back to whenever you want. Same thing. You'll have the slides. Oh, Cassie, I love you. Join Dominate. It's a game changer. I love Dominate. If you are interested in Dominate, you can message me. Our next round starts on April 8th, but I don't believe in waiting. Like I just said, I don't like the waiting energy. So you automatically get freebie access to behind the scenes, which is the weekly trainings, while we wait for April 8th to kick off. So if anybody wants details on that, you can let me know. You can also use your ticket price to this to join Dominate. I'm giving you a little credit. I'll send it all out in an email. But otherwise, do you have details on alum? Yeah, Terry's posted in the group. You can sign up for alum whenever you want. Same as always. That's a wrap. I'm gonna go let this render. I'll send it all out. It'll probably go to your promotions folder. I use Flowdesk, and you know how that's been lately. So just check your spam later. Otherwise, I will see you all later. Bye. Thank you guys. See ya.